Hi everyone, Mitchell from Flourish here, and today's live video, I'm going to be talking about video requirements for different social media platforms, because every social media platform has different requirements that your video has to meet when you're posting it on these different platforms. So today we're going to cover Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and just how you can upload your video to make it like the best as possible to get as most people to click on it, and just so it looks the best it possibly can on that specific social media platform. So I'm just going to start, before I dive into specifics, just something that everyone has in common. So 1080p resolution is the resolution you're going to want for when you're uploading to any social media platform. So if you don't know what 1080p means, that's the pixel resolution of the video. So that's full HD is 1080p. So you're going to want your video always rendered or exported at 1080p video quality or resolution quality. The next thing is frame rate. So videos are basically just a bunch of images that are stitched together, played simultaneously, or one after another, and streamed together so it looks like it's a moving picture, it's a video. So in every second, there's a certain amount of frames. So 30 frames per second is the proper amount of frames that the speed the frames play at that you want for online video. There's different frame rates for different specific things, but for online video you want 30 frames per second. So that is the frame rate that you want to export your videos at, or even film at. And the last thing is file format. So MP4 file format is basically the standard file format that is compatible across social media platforms and just even other like software for uploading and editing video. MP4 is the way to go. There's other file formats that you can use, but it's sometimes you might run into some compatibility issues, so it's always safe to go with MP4. So yeah, those are just the specific requirements just across all platforms. And now let's dive into the actual media platforms. So we're going to start with Facebook. So on Facebook, it's really good to have an attractive intro for like the very beginning of your video, because people are scrolling through their feeds on their timeline, and if a video automatically just playing, and if it doesn't catch their attention like within 5 seconds, they're just going to keep scrolling past it. So you really want a good, attractive beginning to get people's attention right away to your video. The next thing that's important is subtitles. Putting subtitles on your Facebook video helps people, it gains their attention more. So when you're scrolling through, people don't actually have their sound on a lot, especially if they're on Facebook on their phone, right? So they don't hear. So if you put subtitles at the beginning of the video, then they see what you're talking about, and they actually might start beginning to watch after they already started kind of reading the subtitles to get a sense of what your video is about. So adding subtitles to your video is also very important. Also, aspect ratio. Aspect ratio is all over the board on social media platforms, but 16:9 is the aspect ratio that's best for Facebook. So that is kind of like that square rectangular aspect ratio, more rectangular aspect ratio, kind of like the widescreen 16:9 resolution. So when you're exporting video, make sure it's that resolution. Or if you're filming video like on your phone, make sure to film it horizontally instead of vertically, if you're specifically wanting to be for Facebook. And then try to keep it short for Facebook. Don't go too long, like 20 minutes. No one's going to really sit and watch a 20-minute video on Facebook. There's rare circumstances for that, but keep it brief. So don't go over 10 minutes in length. So yeah, that's basically the main requirements for Facebook. For LinkedIn, something other, and we also want it, it's more informational. So you really want to like jam-packed as much valuable information as you can in a short amount of time. So LinkedIn videos, you kind of want to have more around the 3-minute mark, and yeah, punch as much information as you can into that short amount of time. Also, within LinkedIn, it's very important to add hashtags so people are able to find your video. And also with hashtags, also just try to add like ads. So like add your company, like tag your company or other people that may be involved with your video, so then they can share it that way. As well, make sure to use your branding on LinkedIn. If you have any brand colors or fonts, make sure that when you're editing your video to include those. Sorry, this fly. So the audience is able to recognize your brand. And as well, like Facebook, 16:9 aspect ratio is also used for LinkedIn as well. Now we're going to talk about Instagram. So Instagram is very different for video. Their aspect ratio is different, like especially for there's two different ways, really, main ways to post on Instagram. There's posting like a main post, like from your page, or like creating a story and uploading your story. Now, if you're doing it on your phone, it automatically crops the images for you. But if you're like editing a video and then uploading it to Instagram that way from, like, say, your computer, you're gonna really want to make sure you export the video in the correct aspect ratios. So for Instagram posts, where you're just posting on your like page, you're gonna want the aspect ratio to be 1:1. So it's basically a square. So when you're exporting it, it'd be 1080p by 1080p resolution, right? However, when it's stories, it's 9:16. So it's the opposite of 16:9. Like instead of widescreen horizontally, it's vertically. Because most people, when they're on Instagram, look at stories, it's on their phone. So make sure it's 9:16, the exact opposite of 16:9 for the other social media platforms. So yeah, that's Instagram's aspect ratio. There's two different ways. There's posts and stories. There's also different lengths as well. So the max amount of time that you're able to post for a page post on Instagram is a minute. It can't be over a minute. It has to be less than that. And for a story, it has to be 15 seconds on length. It can't be more. If you do want to post a longer video on your story, you're going to have to chop it up into 15-minute second clips. So yeah, that's Instagram. A little bit different. And then for YouTube, kind of the main platform that's made for video, that's kind of more long-form content goes on YouTube, where people are going to spend more time watching. So roughly 9 minutes of length is a good run time for YouTube videos. And keywords are also important with your YouTube videos. So make sure whatever your keyword is in your title, make sure to say it in your video and add it in the description so it's consistent and relevant, so then it boosts higher up on the ranking for YouTube. Also, it's very important on your YouTube videos to engage with your viewers, getting them to like, subscribe, share this video, or even turn on post notifications. All that information just to remind the viewers, if they're enjoying your content, to help support you and be notified for more content that you're going to be putting out so that they can consume more. Also, with YouTube, 16:9 aspect ratio, the exact same as Facebook and LinkedIn. So that is the summary of all the requirements they need to do for Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. I know that was a lot of information, jam-packed, I just kind of flew right through it, but we do have a blog where we cover all this, so it's in the description that you can just check out down below, and we also have a table of just the different social media platforms and a list of all the requirements that you can check out, so it's really easy to look at and check back to make sure you meet all those requirements when uploading to those different social media platforms. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and wishing you inspiration, innovation, and continuous learning.